mommy and daddy are against us. We need a new mommy and daddy. What has happened to this world? It's changing now. We gotta change, but how do we change? Everything we believe ourselves to be is bound to the past. How do we be in the present moment? We gotta swim in the emotional turmoil of this now. I can't swim in that. I can't function in this world swimming in that garbage. How do I push it down? How do I iconize it? How do I put the tension into form external so I can be? How do I go along to get along? Okay, that's what we're all dealing with in varying degrees. Let's look at allegories. Let's look at examples. I worked in IT for many years. What happens is a company makes money, they hire a bunch of people, and then they want to maximize the profits. So how do they get rid of people? They bring in new technologies to automate, optimize, simplify. They add complexity to kill simplicity. It is a dis-ease, a spiritual dis-ease, which puts us in the mind so we can compartmentalize and break things down into this iconic statistical expression we measure with dead numbers. And then we virtualize the virtue in those icons and we pursue them. And we justify the means for the end. We sacrifice the answer for the equation and we get lost in this automaton energy. And when others don't meet us in that bullshit, we demonize them, we cast them down, we say they're this or that, and we know the truth, and we're in the right, and it's just more of the same. So how do you get out of that entrainment? What's the antidote? What is the panacea? It's pantheism. Instead of being the one thing, be the 10,000 things. How do you release to renew? How do you release who and what you thought you were and the value you hold in relation so that you can be more than what that is and be open to changing times? You have to form a gravity well of your own ignorance so that yourself can be in becoming rather than in being. You must step off the throne of your comfortable virtue, the truths you hold, so that you can allow mythology to grow through you and become more than what you were. If you limit yourself, you find limitations. And we're not used to that. I'm not used to that. I don't have the answers. I'm just figuring it out as I go. You have to be in your ignorance to find true authority. The only way to do that is to be a student, to be open to learning. The things that are really true, the absolutions of truth, is the slow fading statics, the golden rule type metaphysical shit, that sticks with you. You don't need communal logic, language, for that sense to make sense. I don't need to be able to explain something to another person in order for it to be true. When I find the truth, I am very leery that it is not the truth, because what can I conceive? I continue to grow. I'm not going to be sitting on my throne of absolution. People can't handle that. I can barely handle it. But that's the way in these changing times. Whatever purity you find within yourself, you reciprocate into existence, and you find the magnetic relation, the resonance of what that is in others and in this world, and you follow the gravity pull. That's changing lines, changing times. So the foundation of the self, understanding who and what you could be rather than who and what you are, and allowing your process to inform the result. What do you become possessed for through? What epigenetic relation is informing you? Is it actually binding you or releasing you? We trivialize through understanding. It's a strange dichotomy. Doesn't mean what you have understood is any less important than what you will. It's part of the process. We hang on to the facts and figures as if they're absolutions, but they're just steps in the process. All the symbols, all the signs are changing. The standards are being melted down to create new ones. If you can't do it for yourself, the world's going to do it for you. The dichotomy is that we are polarized, and somehow we must release what that is. Allow the ignorance to inform you. The felt presence of experience, life itself. It is what it is, but it's up to your conception. How deeply do you feel? How deeply do you know yourself, and are you going to be content with that, or can you release and learn more? Everyone's in a different layer of the onion, different flows in life, and we're all doing what we do, and it's right. Some of us, we make mistakes and we need to. Some of our mistakes affect other people. It seems tragic, but that's the way it has to be. That's the natural way. The world holds us. It allows us to be ignorant. It allows us to be in our own authority, to make our mistakes, and eventually we make them wise. We don't need to save the world. We just need to become the world. The only way to truly do that is to drop the idealization of the absolution and become all things. Monotheism is just the casting of the molten steel into a form, into a standard. You can do a lot when you have a standard, when you have collective belief, but it brings you to a point of maturation, and then the progression rolls and you got to flow with it or you sink. That's what we're at right now. The only thing I know is Noah's lifeboat is a sense of self. The heaven on earth is what you cultivate within, and you bring that resonance into being. That's changing times, that's new earth, that's whatever. Whatever you can conceive and put meaning into. And it's the process of understanding your self-worth, your value. Realizing that this value is not a communal agreement in relation to dictates of other circumstances. You bring true relation into being and allow other people to say that. It's a counter-programmed instruction, but highly intuitive. So be the unconscious of Aries here. Get into the Pisces energy, into the dream. Release what you thought you know to become something else. Something in true reciprocity with existence, and that's the changing self. Everything that is true, everything that you can feel deeply beyond the words, beneath the words, the truth of this expression of existence is going to be known through life, through your deeds, through your experiences. And what it is going to keep growing and unfolding as you yourself do. So get into the live mind, the student mind. Figure out your own language and move with that. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, listening, and being.